For Mark Ulmer, 2015 did not start well as he and his light superstock mega tractor, the Weapon, struggled at the Western Farm Show. But yesterday evening, Mark showed his and his tractor's true caliber with a dominating victory here at the Anavar Festival. Can he make it 2 in a row at Ravenna? Let's watch and see.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
The Outlaws Truck and Tractor Pulling Series is ready to roll in Ravenna, Nebraska. Hello everyone, I'm Claude Wood, and along with Dave Bennett and Rick Carlson, we will be bringing you the action in a pair of classes that are as different as can be.
Well, different is right. We got light super stocks, which basically is alcohol or diesel burning tractors, but they've got to be on a tractor differential. Four-wheel drive pickups, well, that's of course, it's got to be four-wheel drive. The motors, big and bigger. That's all you can say about that. Put 4 wheels on the ground and go.
And Dave, the sled, a very important part. Give us a little 101 on that.
Well, that's what makes these things a winner. Whoever can pull this thing the farthest is the winner. As the weight box goes forward, which is driven by the rear tires of the skid, when it tops out, it just keeps getting heavier on the pan and heavier, and at a point, the tractor can no longer go any farther.
Our first puller in light super stocks, Gary Rimmers out of Holmesville, Nebraska, driving the Hustler.
Well, kind of a different brand right here. You see the case sheet metal. You don't see that many cases, but this is one to contend with. The guy's got it running really strong this year. The Nebraska Hustler. Playing the right side of the track. We're in heavy sunlight here today, so the weather's going to play a lot of trouble on this track for the guys today, Claude.
Got pulled over to that right side. Let's go to the replay, Dave, and see what happened. He had the sled spotted over there. So did the track this early have a play in that?
Well, being a green track makes a lot of difference. Now, he goes the distance of 297 and 93. Pretty nice run, really. Pretty straight, pretty right down the track. We'll just see how that'll hold up.
Here's the Super 10 and Andrea Spatansky.
Lady out of Cairo, Nebraska, hammers down on the International. This tractor very famous in the state of Nebraska. You hear that little whine right there? That is kind of a trademark of the Internationals, the older Internationals. Oh, you can see how intense she is. She's got a hold of that steering wheel and hanging on as she bounces down right there, pretty much in the same ruts as what the Hustler went. Her distance, 278 and 19. So she gets pretty rough here at the end, bouncing around.
She does, and that seems to be the spot of choice on that right side, but wow, a little bit of elevation there.
And you notice on that left side shield, there's some liquid running out right there, so I hope nothing really wrong with the Super 10.
Midlife Crisis, driven by John Ewalt.
Midlife Crisis. You know, it just kind of tells you at the age you are, you just got to go tractor pulling, that's all there is. And he's got the little Case IH singing a song. It might be small, but it's pretty mighty. Ooh, something went down on him right there at the end. You see that smoke? Our officials running in to make sure there's not a fire underneath the hood.
As we go to the replay, Dave, it looks like right on the get-go there's smoke coming out from under it. Is that natural?
Well, the smoke you see right there is a blow-by tube, which is the exhaust, the hot air coming off top of the motor. The smoke you see right there, something come loose underneath the hood, whether it be a turbo or a diesel line.
Green Acres. This is driven by Randy Dunclow. He's out of Arlington, Nebraska.
The Dunclow family, 3 of them, they got 3 different tractors. This one being Randy on his. The Green Acres. Well, you see a lot of liquid right there. A lot of people want to know what that is. That's off the cooling tanks. But everything stays under the hood, and at this point, when the tires are burning and the motor's running, that's a decent run.
Yeah, pretty decent run. 261.53 feet, and that will bring up Frank Bohaboy.
Green Lightning. Anything's liable to happen here. Now, this is an alcohol burning tractor. A lot of tire speed. These alcohol motors can really whiz. Uh-oh, look out. Good recovery, but look at that front wheel. We done went. We got to find us a front-end repair shop.
As we go to the replay, you're on board the sled.
He takes off pretty good. Got a good traction. That front end starting to get high. At that point right there, he could have really lost it big time, but he recovered. Let's go down to Rick Carlson.
Now, it started hopping and bouncing, and then just came down hard.
Yeah. It just came down a little bit too hard, and everything fell backwards.
Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be really expensive. It's just going to take a little bit of money and a lot of time.
Yeah, I've talked to my welder guy that did the welding. I'll call him up after a little bit and give him a hard time that I'm going to bring it back, and he'll laugh about it. I said, this is still on warranty.
As we go to the leaderboard, it's old school first and second place. Gary Remmers driving the Case. Andreas Spatansky driving the International Harvester. Many young guns left to pull. Green Lightning being towed away. He will live to strike another day. We'll be back.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Bauer Built. Our strength is in our people and the customers we serve. Will Cross Seed. Good product, good prices, good service. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Ravenna, Nebraska, and a huge crowd on hand today. Warm conditions, and that will affect a lot of things. Dave has a report.
How long does a set of tires last? Well, till you grind plumb through and hit air. Once you hit air, you're done. Air is very important in the world of tractor pulling. Number one, you roll them out of the trailer so the sun can hit them. They get equalized, whatever the temperature is, it's going to expand it a little bit. Then you want each tire to be equal. You tie an air hose to each tire. Just connect the two tires together where they equalize out. They got the exact amount of pressure in them. Why do you worry about that? This tire is a half a pound too low, gets a bite, the other tire's going to grow. When it grows, you're going sideways in a hurry, and that ain't going to make you a winner.
Yep, and in most motorsports, it comes down to the tires. Here comes Joe Merklin getting ready to go. He drives in two classes. Rick Carlson has more.
One of the busiest guys here at the pulling course is Joe Merklin. Joe, you're driving two different vehicles that, are totally different. You're in a four-wheel drive truck and you're on one of the tractors. That keeps you busy.
Yeah, it's very busy. Yeah, both are very high maintenance vehicles.
And of course, they both require the same driving skills.
They do. The four-wheel drive truck, it's more of a clutch throttle scenario. With the tractor, it's pretty much just open the throttle on it, and hopefully the tire pressure and weight is right to get at the hook, really.
Well, the big machine's no problem for Joe Merklin. By day, he's a heavy equipment fleet manager. Yeah, he's got the experience.
All kinds of different machines. One thing you've got to be careful of here, he said a while ago, the hand clutch better on the pickup than the tractor. Well, these tractors can blow the tires off, and he just launched off that line. And has a nice little pull, pretty straight, pretty smooth. That's going to move him into third place at 274.94.
That was a pretty clean run, going on board the sled, staying over to the right side of the track again.
Well, anytime you can get one of these tire burners to go straight down the track and get a good distance, you got to live with it, and he'll like it as he burns it in.
Joe Merklin in the tractor part of it. That looked pretty good.
We had a good run. We made some adjustments last night, and it really helped, and we're getting ever closer. It's good.
Now it's time to change outfits.
It's time to run. We got three vehicles, and we're under the truck, so we're ready.
Here comes the last call. A good shot of Keith Backer out of West Point, Nebraska, getting ready to go.
I don't know what the name refers to. I got to get with Keith and find out about the last call. This boy has really stepped up to the plate. Alcohol burner, that means tire speed. Once again, that is oil coming out of that blow-by tube. That is engine oil coming out of that blow-by tube, and there was trouble coming.
Well, hats off to the safety crew. Dave, they are on top of it.
Safety is one thing you got to work with on this. This is going to be a turbo explosion, and there's a lot of shrapnel flying around, but safety features, everything is shielded. Hoods keep everything in, and the safety equipment kept everybody safe.
Keith, everybody will remember the tractor now.
Yeah,
Well, I guess we can't win, get the crowd pleaser, right?
Well, that's it. Now, have you looked at it to have any idea what happened?
It split the manifold. I'm sure it must have detonated just a little bit, which opened the manifold up, and consequently we have damage.
And that is the last call for the last call. Meanwhile, here's Mark Ulmer. He is your 2012 points champion.
Well, we're going to go from high-speed alcohol to high-speed diesel. Calls it the weapon. This guy loves to go fast and spin and grin. Oh, he's grinning now. Yes, he is grinning. Tires burning. 3:12.29. He is a new leader.
That was a great pull. It not only sounded good, it just looked picture perfect, Dave.
It did for a fact. Ulmer don't know how to drive straight and true, but he's probably surprised on this run, too. Box topped out, he just kept on going. Don't get no better than that.
And that will bring up the Midnight Mistress, driven by Alan Ulmer.
He's a nephew to the one that we just watched. Man runs the Midnight Mistress. Tractor don't look as big, but it weighs the same. Still got the horsepower. Milked it off the line a long time. Now he's got some traction, but he's having to fight it a little bit. Once again, we see a little bit of oil blow by. Going to burn it in. Oh, so close. He goes 297.77, puts him third place. Thought he misses second place by 0.16 of a foot.
And it's another dominating performance by Mark Ulmer.
This morning it looked like you were having a little problems keeping it running, but you got that fixed.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we work on them all the time. We really never break anything, but we just work on them all the time. And we were successful this weekend, and we thank everybody here at Ravenna, and hopefully we can come back next year and do it all again.
Moving on now to our next class, which will be four-wheel drive. This is Fred Blue getting in the office there, getting set to pull. Stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome back to Ravenna, Nebraska. Hey, it's always fun to see the different names that drivers give to their trucks.
And a lot of the names has got special meanings. Some we're not going to get into.
Yeah, use your own imagination there. Well, a great crowd on hand today, enjoying the pulling action. Joe Merklin getting ready to go. Now, earlier, Dave took a close-up look at this class.
Modified four-wheel drive pickups, 6,200 pounds. What makes it work? Well, you rely on the sled to tie the rear end down. You put all the weight on the very front, the motor, the weight, the driver, everything's up front. You got your special design pulling tires, but weight is the trick. Tell you how light these pickups are on the rear end. You build them as heavy on the front, and then you build them just as light as you can on the back end. You want to turn it around? I'll turn it around.
Most impressive. Modified four-wheel drive class. Joe Merklin, a heavy equipment mechanic, but what I want you to check out here, Dave, look at those graphics.
Oh, this is one awesome looking truck. He's bound for glory. Got that flag and eagle up front. Man, oh man, let's go flying down the track. That motor sewing every stitch. You gotta love that pull big time. What a deal. 3:13 and 14. Great run.
And remember, Joe finished 6th in the light super stocks. He's hoping to do better than that here.
Oh, with this run, I bet he does. I love to hear those motors hit them high RPMs and burn it in. That's going to live for a while.
And let's go down to Rick with a busy Joe Merklin.
Now do you get to breathe a little bit?
Now I get to breathe a little bit, sit back and watch maybe even a little.
How was this pull?
It was very good, actually. The truck responded well. It had good RPM going down through there. Now we just have to wait and see how everybody else does.
And that 65-year-old man that lifted the rear end of the truck around, he's bragging about that now.
I see. Well, he should be.
Well, Dave, your legend is really growing now. Here comes the thumper, four-wheel drive, Lane Thornton.
This guy's been thumping some heads lately. This guy, whoa, hang on. I'm surprised he didn't stop and back up. He could have stopped before he went 100 foot and tried to get a smoother start, but he decided to run with it. Thumper, four-wheel drive, trying to run on out there. At 3:06 and 34 is his distance. I am curious whether or not he's going to like that takeoff.
Well, the crowd liked the pull. Let's see if Lane did.
Lane, you started hopping. Once it settled down, it looked good.
Not a good start. Not a good start.
What causes that?
Probably me too anxious.
A crew member locks in the hubs for Bill Schwartz, your Colorado points champion.
The Junkyard Dog lives over on the western side of Kansas, a town called Oakley. Puts on his own show. Had a great time there. He goes great time pulling. Another one of those motors singing a big song. Losing a little bit of traction on the end. He goes 291 and 51 with the Junkyard Dog.
Like the classic lines, the look of this truck, it just looks cool.
Oh, it is a hard charger. Probably one of the oldest running trucks in this class. That truck's been around a long time, and with the distance as competitive that, he shows you why he keeps on running it.
This is Risky Business, driven by Joe Claypool. It's a 2002 Chevy S10.
Out of Macon, Missouri. Macon, Missouri, a home of a lot of pullers and a lot of pulling vehicles. This is one of the top ones. 4 tires burning, motor churning, and it'll just bring her right straight down the track. Smooth and easy. He'll go into 3rd place at 295 and 62.
Another truck with some nice graphics, those flames going down the side, and he is right in the center of the track, looks like, and just a smooth run.
And unlike the other vehicle, you did not see any hopping right there. All tires was doing their job.
Fred Blue getting ready to drive his secret weapon. Well, if he's got a secret for us, I think we'll find out what it is.
Fred Blue, now you want to talk about a guy that make a Ford motor sing. This guy's Ford through and through. Even used Ford tractor weights up front. Works on Ford motors for a living. And there you go. Oh, yeah. He puts 10 foot on what used to be 3rd place. He's now 3rd place at 3:05.05.
Well, maybe his secret, Dave, is in the wrenches he turns.
Well, there's no secret on how this man can make a motor run. And that is just a class act. All these 4-wheel drive boys are doing a great, great job in this class.
Checking out the leaderboard, Ford's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Joe Merkland bound for glory if he can hold the lead. 4-wheel drive action will continue when we come back.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Sapp Brothers. Visit one of our 16 full-service truck stops today. Agency 212, Marketing, Communications, Public Relations. VP Racing, world leader in race fuel technology. And by Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
Welcome back to Ravenna, Nebraska and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Charlie Miller driving the Foxy Lady. Earlier, Rick Carlson caught up with Charlie.
As we were looking in the pits, we've seen the Foxy Lady. This looks like a brand new truck. Well, most of it's new. As we talked to Charlie Miller, what's new on your truck?
Everything's new except for the motor and the transmission.
Why'd you build a new frame?
We was wanting to try some new things and get a little lighter on the back end. We're about 600 pounds lighter than we was, so hopefully it'll be a little better.
What are you looking for?
Hope for it to make it down the track and not break. We'll be happy and we'll build from there.
All right, let's see how it shakes out. First run, Foxy Lady.
Well, that's 600 pounds he's talking about. That means there's 600 pounds he can move to the front, just like we talked earlier in this show. At 600 pounds up front will make all the difference in the world, and truck settle down. He's rocking and rolling, sitting in there just like a Sunday afternoon drive, and takes it to a point. Not a bad deal, not a bad deal at all.
Dave, are the track conditions changing any? Most of the runs just look picture perfect.
Well, he bounced a little bit on the starting line right there, and he's skating just a tick. But, yeah, the track is drying out. You're starting to see a little dust fly up, and the boys will have to take that into consideration.
Agent Orange, a good look at Tom Byers, a past points champion.
The Agent Orange machine. Yeah, this man has been on top of the world before. Yeah, he knows what it's like to win. A lot of times he knows what it's like to win. Got a great pass going, smooth and straight. He only goes into 5th place, 27/100ths of a foot short of 4th. So close.
On board the Agent Orange, you're seeing what the driver sees, you're feeling, and
you're hearing it. That is what they hear. Son, can you hear the power?
Tom, when it left, it looked like it was just going to jump straight up in the air.
Yeah, it didn't have a very good start, and it didn't hook up very good, but I don't know, I made some changes from last night, but I'm not sure if they were the right changes.
Dean Christensen coming up next. He drives the Red Hot.
Well, he has been red hot. You've seen him on previous shows. That bouncing. Not good, not good, not good. This man's used to getting up in that top end, and yeah, he's actually going to get there. He's going to go to 4th at 297.25 because this bounce killed him big time.
It did. It's a good-looking 1988 Ford Ranger, but, wow, he had some problems there.
Every time it bounces, you're taking footage off the other end, and that cost him some dollars and some points.
Coming up next will be Doug Ritter. He drives the Stroker.
Well, the Stroker, he also is a past points champion. We got some killer dogs in this class. This be one of them. Now, he moved a little bit over to the left, riding on board with this big motor. Listen to it sing. He'll go down there to a distance of 307.96.
Going to final results, Joe Merklin, he has it sewed up and bound for glory. No surprise there, and what a good class it was. And that'll put a wrap on it from Ravenna, Nebraska. Thanks for joining us today. More exciting pulling action next week. Now, for Rick Carlson and Dave Bennett, Logwood, so long.